Howdy, House District 60. Mark Owens sitting down here in Salem. It's early afternoon on June 6th. 23 days left of session. Been 2 weeks since we gave a video update. I want to give a video update. That's why I guess I'm talking into the phone. 23 days and we still have not seen the transportation package bills. And one time we heard there's going to be 5 bills. Now we've heard there's going to be 3 bills. We've heard that they're going to link cap and invest, which is cap and trade, into the conversation. Because when we walked in 2020 on cap and trade, the governor decided to do Executive Order 2004, which started the Climate Protection Program. Climate Protection Program has been challenged in court twice now. First time they lost, second time they won, I guess. And it's been very tough on a lot of our regulatory communities. It's been very tough on natural gas, been very tough on some of our industries. So there is a train of thought. Is there a better way to decarbonize, and should some of that funding go to transportation, like Washington? 23 days, there's not enough time to have that conversation. Not enough time for those that are even in the know to understand what's going on, let alone explain it to our communities. What does that leave them with? Does that leave them with a watered down transportation package? Does that leave them with $1.8 billion in revenue that comes from taxes? I don't know. Hopefully we find out in the next couple of days, because it's going to be a lot of tough decisions to move forward. The Senate and House Republicans still have a transportation package out there that is a base package. Go to core functions, maintain our equity asset, plow our roads, do our maintenance, and figure that out. As I've said before, I mean, the cost to maintain our roads has exceeded the cost of revenue that's coming in. So we got to figure out something. I just don't know how, honestly, it gets done in 23 days. And the other one, big one out there that we've been talking about is the wildfire maps and wildfire funding. And I think I shared 2 weeks ago that now they've been combined. There was the votes to move Senate Bill 83 out of climate and energy in the House side to the floor, pass it, already passed the Senate, governor signs it, wildfire maps are repealed. But it got stuck down into rules to try to leverage it for how do we fund wildfire funding, which I think was inappropriate. Still a big conversation on what do you do? How do you make up the land on our offsets so those of our communities that are in ODF fire districts that rates have gone up exponentially can afford it? How do you make it an all Oregonian problem? Still, big question in 23 days. We did pass the ODF budget at a natural resource sub Ways and Means yesterday. We'll go to full Ways and Means next Friday. And there is funding in there to put helicopters up July 2nd. There is funding in there to make sure that our agency is staffed up, ODF, to get firefighters out. So if we don't figure out what does this wildfire funding package look like, it'll be the same as what happened last year. Fires will happen, personnel will be put out, air resources will go up, and they'll do the best job that they can. And if we spend more than what is budgeted, we'll come back and possibly in an emergency session, figure out where the funding comes from. And more than likely it'd come from general fund. So still a large conversation to be out there, in 23 days literally left to go. And that's constitutional. So we have to be out of here by Sunday, June 29th. Thank goodness. Ready to get home? Haying starting for a lot of our communities. Summer's here. It's time not to be in the Capitol. We had an interesting Ways and Means today. We were down there for 3 hours passing out budget bills, passing out policy. Not much policy is making it through Ways and Means because of the concern of the budget. One that was kind of interesting today, the Higher Education Coordinating Committee, which for some reason deals also with the outdoor school funding. So I forget what ballot measure it was, but it was a couple years ago that 67% of Oregonians decided outdoor schools are a good thing. The majority of Oregonians said, yes, we should spend 4% of lottery funds to outdoor school. Lottery funds are projected to only go down by like 0.04. But statutorily, the state of Oregon is required to spend 4% on outdoor schools. The budget did not reflect that. The budget is less than 4%. Ask the specific question of the day. If you have to, it's in statute, how can you not? And they said, well, there's flexibility. You can balance your budget. You can do this, you can do that. And I said, this is bad governance. Oregonians voted for 4% of lottery funds to go to outdoor school. I'm confused. I won't support your budget because that's how we break the trust of Oregonians. That was an interesting one. On the floor yesterday, I was a sponsor of the bill that keeps women's sports with women only participating. So banning biological males from participating in women's sports, and banning biological males from going into girls' bathrooms. And we couldn't get a hearing on it, so we did some courtesies to some of our female athletes on the floor, and then we pulled the bill to try to force the conversation. We lost. I believe all Republicans voted for the bill pull and all Democrats voted against. And to me, it's not, whether every student athlete should have the opportunity to compete. I believe they should, but not in female sports. If you're a biological female, compete with biological females. If you're a biological male, compete with biological males. It's not trying to go against our trans. It's not trying to go against those that might be confused or having a hard time. It's about protecting the integrity of female sports. I'm disappointed we didn't get to have that discussion in committee where it should have came from. We're going to have Oregon Water Resource Department budget up, I think, in Natural Resource Sub Ways and Means next Tuesday, probably the last committee day for Natural Resource Sub Ways and Means. I think I've signaled with you House Bill 2803 was their water rate increase bill, where they were proposing an increase of 135% for water rate transaction, permitting, transfers, you name it. I worked with Co-Chair Helm, and we took in an amendment that reduced the total maximum amount that they could raise fees to 50%, down from 135 down to 50. We got a lot of flack from agencies, a lot of flack from presiding officers. We said you could buy back some of the general fund positions needed. Some of the positions needed from general fund. It looks like we're going to have that success, that at least fees will be limited to a 50% increase and more money from general fund to go there. I know that's a tough one still, 50% increase, but 50% increase is better than 135% increase. But I'll keep you in the loop on that. 2 weeks ago, after my last video, we did pass unanimously out of ag and everything else the Senate Bill 777, which is the wolf compensation program. It modifies the wolf compensation program to get rid of the missing element, but gives a multiplier of up to 5 times for missing calves and for confirmed predation on cows and calves. It's a good step forward. Really want to thank Senator Nash, Representative Levy for working through that, but was fortunate enough to be able to chair that committee. Unanimous, went to the floor, made it off the floor with 40 some odd votes. Now we figure out the next 23 days how we can fund the wolf compensation program with dedicated funds, index so it'll go up. That'll be the next, I think, monumental hill to climb in the next 23 days, but feel comfortable that we can figure out how to do that, how to make sure the wolf compensation program is funded adequately. Still working on our Rangeland Fire Protection Agency bills, 3349 and 3350, which will go to support our volunteers, our first responders to fire. Been working on the governor's office, trying to figure out where those bills are. One is just policy, 3349, and the other one's the $1 million fund in 3350. Still very hopeful that we'll get those across the line. Another one where we had a meeting on just yesterday, we have the governor's office, Department of Justice in here, ODF in here, several representatives, too many attorneys. talking about House Bill 3103, predictable harvest levels on state forest lands, which makes the state forester working with the ODF board to project how many board feet they're going to put up for sale on state forest lands for the next 10 years and has some accountability measures. So our counties can plan, our industry can plan. It's a good governance bill. It's amazing how much pushback we got, but I'm still hopeful that we can get House Bill 3103 across the line. Last one, yesterday in Senate rules, I had the good fortune, but also, you know, kind of saddening. Senate Current Resolution 33, honoring Commissioner Susan Roberts up in Wallala County. Susan spent 40 years in public service. Uh, she was already a commissioner when I became a freshman commissioner back in 2017. Took me under her wing. A great lady, great role model, champion for our communities, champion for Eastern Oregon is in failing health. She's going to step down as a commissioner this week and probably is not long on this earth for us because of some medical conditions. Great lady, great fighter for Eastern Oregon custom and culture. And Susan, your impact on myself, my family, and the communities will go on a long time. Thank you for your service. Honor to be supporting Senate Current Resolution 33. Enjoy the heat, hopefully, this weekend. Hope haying is starting or going to start here quickly, or you're in the middle of it going well. Even with that, I hope the grass stays green on the hills. People enjoy family, friends as we go through the summer season. Talk to you in a week. Thank you.